Hello everybody, I'm Flameless Soul, and today I welcome you back to Horizon Zero Dawn. When we last left off, we had shut down the Focus Network, and had our first direct encounter with Hades. Didn't go well. This time, we are heading to Sunfall, so let's get into the game. We need to go right here.
The Mad King Duran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
I was on my phone while I waited for it to load. I wasn't expecting anything to happen.
Nothing is forgiven.
Good to see you. Y'all are gonna probably try and kill me in a minute. What do they mean nothing is forgiven? You're the ones who went to war against the Oseram. You
now
started
we get to see
this
if your
all.
attack on their focus network was entirely successful.
What are you talking about? Did I crash the network or not?
In theory, all should be well.
I love that in theory stuff. It implies that you don't actually fully understand what you're doing.
Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment. In the meantime, circulate.
That is spooky sounding. I don't know what that is.
Outlanders, if you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here. Filthy mercenary bottom feeders.
I'll take the shards, even if it means having to listen to Bahavas.
I hear the Shadow Carja are looking for one of their own. Should pay well.
Sweet! I love being bounty hunters.
Let's see you go
Is
when we find
that
you.
really what all these people are here for, is to be bounty hunters? Huh. Kind of find it questionable
by the
that they're all
glory
here to be
of the
bounty
sun
hunters, but
revealed.
I guess that makes sense.
Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King, the light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law.
He's
I
a child.
command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
By the will of
He's a
radiant
literal
Edaman does the
child.
sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair.
Not only did the wretch conspire to
You and I need to
infiltrate
chat,
the Citadel
little huntress.
and assassinate
The green
one
tent
true
down
king,
in Shadowside.
but he refused
I'll
to
be waiting.
surrender when discovered
Kinda busy.
and fled, and in doing so, demonstrated wanton disregard for the safety
We both know
of
you're
the
no killer for
king's
hire.
subjects.
Uthid is innocent. So come see me,
Forth then,
while there's still
outlanders,
time to save
and
him.
do the will
Is this
of
gonna be a side quest?
So, the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the sun ring from on high.
But
the castle.
So it's not going to be a side quest.
The balustrade.
Want us to see this,
It's a short
boy?
drop from there. The
It makes
balustrade.
quite an impression.
It's a short drop from there.
Sweet! Oh, I'll just go this way. No, you're not going that way. The game doesn't like that, so you just gotta to plummet and die. I'm not even allowed to climb it again. What the fuck does it want me to do? Does it want me to just jump over here?
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
Wow. I love that. That's
I
great.
see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
So this is the end of the game then. Obviously, I can go off and do stuff on my own whenever. After this, but
I'm heading down.
guessing this is the end of the main
I've spent a
story.
lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
So he made it to here.
Hold for
Glitched.
identity scan.
He made it to this point, but he couldn't get past the
Genetic
biometric.
profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. Malfunction. Malfunction.
Are
Malfunction.
you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Oh, this is a terrible idea. Don't. Oh, this is a
Emergency venting
horrible
authorized.
idea. Yeah.
Underestimated you. Think by now
Yeah. They now know something's up.
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Woo! Who doesn't love a rush?
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility Diagnostics.
We'll read this one because we're near the end of the game, so it's important to get all the information that we can. From lounge staff to admin, another incident. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond.
Detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Oh, there's another one. From reception staff to admin, we need support too. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing 20 candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. the Langbots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails. You know, it's funny because reception is probably running into an issue that everyone at the time would be running into. There's not enough people around to do anything.
For your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
This facility was absolutely, despite being the literal entire point of everything that was going on, this was the plan to save the world. They were probably one of the least staffed in the area. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. Oh yeah, that's gotta be real pleasant.
Room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
That's actually gotta suck. You're sitting out here, you're worried, you're concerned, you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you just hear screaming in here.
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Oh, it just skips straight to cutscene mode.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret super weapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies.
So it's not a super
Zero
weapon.
Dawn is not a super weapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more.
Zero Dawn's a cloning program.
If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here.
The metal plants.
Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after.
Zero Dawn's a
But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
So there was nothing they could do. There was no stopping it. There was absolutely no way. So I was right.
It doesn't make sense.
That Aloy's a clone.
Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
It did, though.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow...
She didn't
somehow
save
Elizabeth
them.
saved us.
She saved
I've
you.
got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
She didn't save their world. She made a new one. That's why Aloy is a...
They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Good. We're too close to let tribal primitives stop us now. The data points, what do they contain?
Probably plenty of information.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Something else.
Is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people.
So they literally, they
feed
brought in
off
people
them?
from every
Not
country.
just people, all organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution.
That would explain why there's only a
liquefied.
couple of types of animals.
The miracle of life produced a bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
So, people were angry. Understandably.
Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malkeet was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty, too. But I kept the zigging to their zag.
I don't remember who Sterling Malkeet
How'd you
was.
finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
So even the counselors were probably fed up with some of these
You
lunatics.
previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since,
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Huh. There's a lot of information. A lot more listening to stuff. Oh, I get to read. That's good. I like reading. For debriefing after Presentation 1, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Addendum B1. And the unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures. Addendum C1, C2, C3. So that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If candidates ask for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to Presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted. So the counselors probably had it a bit worse than the scientists who were brought in because they had to actually understand all of this and explain it over and over and over again.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
So she understood that it to an extent that there wasn't anything that worked.
There is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh Plague? I understand it is terrible. But it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this?
So that you
there
understand
are people in Shanghai,
what's at stake.
My friends, my family, they have joined Operation Enduring Victory already.
Yep.
It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
Because the only way to sustain life on Earth was to let it end and then bring it back.
Right? I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Because the culture needs to be somewhat preserved so that the people of this time believe that they are descendants of those who failed,
let's
not
cut the
clones.
mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen.
There
it's
is
the
no
first
ship.
thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
He's right though. No one was going to survive. And my theory the entire time was that Aloy was a clone. Now we know that
data intact.
everyone started as a clone.
Initiating playback.
I love how it starts with Aloy walking forward.
You've heard the bad news,
time.
and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian.
Is Hades a failed attempt
devoted
at that?
to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI.
Obviously,
But that's just the core of the system.
Hades isn't
She will
the
need
AI
to
they
be
used,
surrounded
but is
and
he a failed
empowered
attempt?
by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come,
I love how they named them all
you'll learn
after
how all these
gods.
functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together.
Hades.
How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But
Hades
even
is
more
right there at the
important,
bottom.
you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good.
The tall necks.
How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us.
But
Our
Apollo
world.
had to
And
have
most
been
important,
corrupted.
How not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible
Or
dream.
only some of them
It
had
is
access
within our
to
grasp
Apollo and they didn't
if we
share
work
it.
tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
But what was Hades intended to do?
Did this for life, for us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot?
That's what I'm trying to guess. Maybe Hades was meant to be something different than what it became. Maybe Gaia ran out of power and failed to completely build Hades correctly. Or maybe Hades encountered something that then messed with its generation and messed with its structure. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communication with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, for 2 persons of your choosing, or 2 persons of your choosing, parentheses are weird in these, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You'll be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted to contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the feral plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions.
Why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
There's a lot going on here, guys, and this is going to be a long as fuck video.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
That's interesting. He's not doing it because of reasons that others might do it. He's doing it because he was responsible for this.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
That's fine. That's a perfectly fine place to cut off.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
What is
Security,
this room?
for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my old man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus.
She
These
found
will keep.
a solution, even if it wasn't viable. I feel like that one got cut off. Yeah, that one got cut off.
This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
So Ron didn't even want to try and stay. He wanted to leave, but that's not an option at that point because he could reveal that...
Intruder! Get her!
Oh,
Whatever
come
you
off
do,
it.
Don't die now.
Okay. I died now. I didn't watch my health. I just switched to the other armor and was like, yeah, I can take it. No, I can't take it. I'm also kind of surprised that I was
Intruder,
not only right,
Well,
but right in an extent that I couldn't even comprehend. You see, you gave me access to your big weapons.
I've done this before. Just need my focus.
Oh god, more. So this is the end of the game, so I want to have every piece of information that I can.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Okay, so that's how he saw this. He saw this as an opportunity to have a cushy life for whatever it may have been.
It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now? And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Wonder if that was intentional, that they let that guy in there, or if he just happened to see her
I
as
hashed
he was
it out
walking
with
through.
them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this.
Damn it. Every time I try and just search something, it cuts it off because it's the same fucking keybind.
We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
Interesting. I didn't actually expect that one, that someone would actually choose that option. To go through with the project.
Not too much already.
And then not take the offer of living out the rest of your life.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter nose backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Is that back? That's backwards. Okay. Up. Right. Down, left. Up. No, that's not backwards. What? It's upside down. Son of a bitch. It's not backwards. It's upside down and backwards. It's completely wrong. Okay. Down. Then this one needs to be set to up. And this one needs to be set to down.
That did it.
Okay.
We should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Probably a lot of nothing. Let's open that door. You know, I grabbed the gun so I can shoot them.
They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia, it's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
I literally grabbed the gun. And then it was like, yeah, no. That's irrelevant. You grabbing the gun? I died. I'm probably going to cut out all the combat again. Because, like I said, this is an hour long already. And I still have a lot of stuff I need to do today.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
This is interesting. That now that they know what was done, they're now looking for Gaia rather than just trying to exist or trying to find out things. They actually want the thing that
I'm
was
Margot
lost.
Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulations, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
So that's how the Tallnecks came to be. They were the ones that broadcast the deactivation codes. But at this point, the robots that Gaia made are, well, posing a threat to this society more than you'd expect them to, considering what they were designed it for.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's prediction for animal morphology. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil records, too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. That is actually a great piece of advice. A lot of the stuff that we build today, or start today, one of the hardest things is starting something now that you know full well you will never live to see come to fruition. A project so grand that it would take longer than you have left in life to actually fully realize it. Yet you start it anyways for the sole purpose of, you know that it would be, the world would be better if you did it.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside. More Eclipse.
Careful now.
God, there's so many of them.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo
is it just the fault of the holograms if the clothing style of these people become very clinical and
albeit
gross?
under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First,
the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
That is... It's very well thought out, but it's... We haven't encountered Apollo in any meaningful fashion until here. God, there's so much here, and I'm reading all of it because there's so much. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of Homer archive from Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Languages and preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curriculum development about to begin. Speaking of heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia persona. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half of my professors had been so entertaining. Please be with you. A good teacher means a lot when it comes to the swift education of things and people. Bro, I don't know what you were trying to do. You know what's the sad part about this? This really does paint a picture about these people where I literally just killed, I believe, every single one of them.
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
Without a single one screaming.
Wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
It's interesting because, yeah, in that position, you would feel the need to apologize to the people of this world, the new world. But at the same time, the only reason they even exist is because you strived to put them in a position where they could exist. The death of the world from before was already established. It was going to happen because someone took a step that they shouldn't have taken in a direction
Welcome
that led to death.
Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no,
yeah,
it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, a spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial.
So
All
has
for
it
the greater
declared
good, of
that
course,
this
but
attempt
still,
is a failure?
kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
So has Hades determined
Okay,
this is
so
a failed attempt?
If that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a pharaoh titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy.
Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that it couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has gone and done its business. So had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretends to relinquish control in simulation after simulation. Hades could take command of the terraforming system in reverse operations only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly re-reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky. I swear I ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain chair and work its magic. Though blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong. Guess it's time to sleep and bed. I'll back at it tomorrow, alligators. So did Hades find a way to completely ignore its protocol, or did someone do something that knocked Gaia out of the captain chair? Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but can we all agree there is a margin for refinement in future cradle populations? Yeah, that you'd probably want to avoid putting a bunch of DNA in there that would result in...
Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
So wait, does that mean that there are other places like this area?
Corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
There is so much, and this isn't even the finale, is it? Because we have to go back there. I just realized that.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound.
Someone found the
At
kill
this point,
switch.
the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
So, someone found the override, is my guess. And they used it. Someone who shouldn't have found it and used it.
Bots would benefit from antilopine morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
So, for anyone who isn't fully aware, megafauna is things like the megalodon, the T-Rex, the massive creatures that we know existed. We find things. Technically, like a blue whale could be classified as megafauna, but we know they existed, and we have evidence of them, but our current biosphere cannot sustain them in the way that they lived before.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Where is Elizabeth?
Extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe
She
in
has
you,
to.
Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Yeah, so the subtitles cut off, so I know that was the end. Bri opened the door. God, this is gonna suck to edit this, guys. There's so much going on, and I'm glad I didn't try and have a topic. I wasn't gonna cover it properly.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth
You're a
to me.
direct clone.
Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
Okay, he's back. And he's throwing bombs at us. That's not good. I don't like that. Don't throw bombs at me, fuckface. God, he's so stupid looking.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
Okay. I'm gonna have to say that is the end. We went through the entire facility. As soon as this cutscene right here ends, I'm probably gonna get an autosave. And that is gonna be the end.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny.
You're a crazy son of a
Until
bitch.
you
That's what
came
you are.
along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
Rost.
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events.
You are fucking crazy.
You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun.
I don't agree with you.
Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
I really don't agree with you. You're... I'm not gonna say you're a fool.
You're an idiot. A dangerous idiot, but an idiot. All this talk of destiny and fate. I'm sure Hades speaks the same language, doesn't he? You're being played for a fool. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then open this cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
This is true, they did, from the very beginning.
The Nora cast me out at birth. You're not hurting me if you hurt them.
Really? Then it makes no difference one way or another. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus. Such a powerful device, isn't it?
He's gonna break it.
And yet, so fragile.
I don't have much to say right here.
So you see,
he's clearly a fanatic.
This time,
he's clearly
I did
crazy.
not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
As soon as this cutscene ends, there's going to be an autosave. I know this. But I don't know when this cutscene's going to end. And I've already been going for an hour and a half. And I have to keep a lot of that hour and a half in because it's data points.
Rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day, soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold!
Corruptors! Are they the ones who are gonna kill me?
Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, the Radiant Turan ordered many faithless, crushed beneath the hooves of the behemoth. Mighty is the behemoth in the eye of the sun, but it is mightier still, infused with the power of shadow. Let this one, who schemed and slithered, be the first to die. Let her be the first of thousands!
Woo! We don't even have a spear. We don't have anything. What's gonna happen? Because we're clearly not gonna fight. There's no way for us to fight.
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. All my weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this ring. Maybe I could use the strength against it.
Okay, so we know what she's gonna try and do. She's gonna try and get it to charge into something, but that's for next time because we're already, like I said, at an hour and a half of raw footage that I need to edit through, and it's gonna suck to do that. So let me know what you think. I was right. Aloy is a clone, by the way, but everyone is a descendant of some type of clone. Everyone was, their heritage leads back to a machine that was reproducing life to try and recreate the world from scratch. There's probably very, very little pollution in this world, despite being remnant of the past, and that's why all of the buildings are so collapsed, because it's not 100, it's not 200 years after the machines killed everyone and there was a shutdown code. No, it's thousands of years, and the machines themselves are broken down. The metal is rusted, corroded, and they ran out of fuel to such an extent that they literally are just existing as scraps in the ground until someone comes along and rebuilds them. Let me know what you think about all of that, because I think it's crazy, it's amazing, and I was right. Aloy is a clone. That's the most important part, I swear. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like down below, as well as subscribe if you haven't already, because we do have a 400 subscriber goal. So, if you want to help us reach that and you've already subscribed, make sure you share this video with your friends or family or anyone you think might enjoy my content. Hell, go outside and scream, check out Flameless Soul on YouTube. That works as well. Trust me, I know, I did it once. I gained a subscriber. I think, maybe, I don't know. But do it! And send me a video of it, it'll be funny. So, I hope you all enjoyed. And remember guys, smile. Because we still have the secrets to discover, and that's a good thing. Right? Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, guys.